My name is James Carpenter, and I've had the real honor of being a part of this Mayor's Levee for many, many years now. And at the same time, some of these young ones here have been with me to the levee here, so we're happy to be back. Up here, we put some other items up here for you to come and check out after, some sacred items that we use in ceremonies. And today we wanted to share with you, I guess, more about why we're here, my family and us. We've come to learn that a part of our identity is through, I guess, is through that very sacred sound that lives within us. And that sacred sound, as last year what we shared also, that sacred sound is your heartbeat. And that heartbeat that lives within all of us is a song that's been playing within us. And I want to acknowledge all our ancestors, all of them, all of your ancestors, my ancestors, because it's that first song that we all heard inside our mother's very sacred home of ours, inside that womb. And normally when we share our dance styles like this, we have a big drum, a big powwow drum. We'd have a bunch of singers there. And we'd share each type of dance with us that we're sharing. So what I wanted to show you was, I guess we'll start with the dance outfit that I'm wearing. This is known as a traditional men's outfit. And this outfit tells a story, like I wanted to share with you. If you could see all these beautiful beadwork that's on here, all these sacred parts of these sacred animals that are helpers, like the eagle or the deer. You could also see that a very sacred animal, that porcupine, this is a porcupine's hair. And these two feathers that I wear at top, they represent that I've earned the right to help protect my family or to protect our community. I guess another part of this our dance outfit here as a traditional warrior. On here, you'll see some things that look like little spirit people. And if you look closely at this, my wife and her sister, their mom, Cookum, makes all these regalias for us. She designs them. She creates all those dresses. She puts all that ribbon work on, and it's very tedious work. But on here, if you notice here, one of these spirits, they're holding a little bag. And there was a time not too long ago when my body got sick inside this sacred being of mine. I wasn't eating proper foods. I wasn't practicing good exercise. And when Cookum or Grandma decided to create this beadwork for us, she made sure, I think this, oh, that's good. So there's a little offering of better foods for my spirit in our beadwork. Some of you have a little while. We've been to that womb of Mother Earth, that lodge, that sweat lodge that's up at Owen Gathering Place. And if you look on top here, my headband, I guess, you'll see my spirit name, Gray Cloud. So that's a gray cloud up there. And if you look on the side of my regalia, you'll see these eyes. And to us, that's represents the Kenabik, or that sacred one that crawls on Mother Earth, that knows all the medicines. And we have a couple fancy shawl dancers. That's my niece Nabe, my daughter Nakone, and my sister. Oh, there you go. And what that dance represents is about that change, is about that butterfly of creation. And you'll see my niece there is in a jingle dress. And that jingle dress there is a healing dress that came to one of our people to help heal a very, very sick young woman. Their family had a dream and ceremony, and they ended up having healing. There's more to that story, though. And over here is my little nephew, Dawson. Dawson, you want to step forward? Dawson's dance outfit represents like the grass dancers. So when Dawson dances, he's like that grass. He prepares all those grounds for all the other dancers that are coming in. And of course, then we have my niece, Wawatese and Jenny. They're wearing a traditional woman's outfit. And what those to Mother Earth and how that power of family and love, how it all fits in within your connection from your heartbeat. So those long dresses of those traditional dancers, those women, it's like they're watching over all of us. Now, I wanted to teach everyone here again something that I love to share with everybody. I see some friends that have been to Lodge lately, and we're on the territories of a great Anishinaabe nation, all around the Great Lakes. We call many people from different nations, but generally we're from that Anishinaabe nation around these parts. And in that Indigenous Anishinaabe language, to say hello and greetings to everyone, we say Ani Bojo, okay? Ani Bojo. So everyone, I want to say Ani Bojo to you. You're going to say it back to me, okay? Ready? Ani Bojo. Oh, that's good. I love that. We're going to try it one more time, okay? Ani Bojo. Miigwech. Everyone, I know we have big events, and what we call this is just an exhibition. We're gonna dance our little bit of our styles. We're gonna do 2 push-ups of a powwow song that's an intertribal. And an intertribal means that we dance this song just to show you how we dance our styles very quickly. But then after, I want to do something very sacred with everyone that's able, maybe a bunch of us. We're going to do what's called a circle dance or a round dance. And that's only about a minute or 2, but that's where we're going to join hands, all of us, and we're going to kind of dance in a circle as big as it can get, all those ones that can. But the whole part of that, real part of that round dance is that we put our spirits into the good energy of the good life that we all have. So with all of our hearts, everyone, we say Miigwech, and believe it or not, these dance styles, you'll see them all across the nation, and we're just happy to share with you today our beautiful regalias, our beautiful dance outfits, some of this beadwork here, these sacred bundles, and watch how they dance. It's only a minute or 2. And then we get into that round dance where we join with each other, okay? And please, during the event or after, if you want to come look at some real, authentic, Indigenous items, please feel free to come check them out. They're all right here, sacred medicines that we come to share with everyone, okay? All right, so we're just gonna do an exhibition of a dance, and you're gonna see us do all this little bit how we're dancing. For myself, you'll see me kind of telling a story with the heartbeat. Our traditional dancers, we tell a story when. For my other fancy shawls, they'll be dancing like a butterfly, kind of going all over the place. Our grass dancer will be putting that very sacred grass down for us so that we dance in a good way. And our jingle dress dancer will dance for all the healing for all of us. Something also very important, miigwech to everyone that's brought this sacred medicine. In our way of life as Indigenous people, one of the ways that we were taught to ask for something, or to, whether it be family or guidance or help, or assistance in something, we always start with a sacred medicine, tobacco. So miigwech to the town and some of the counselors who have prepared these beautiful offerings for our family. We say miigwech. You want to start? So everyone, we're just going to start doing our little bit of dance. And in case you're wondering when we start this, just feel free how we're dancing, okay? My family's just getting out. And for my family, these little ones, miigwech guys, it takes a lot of courage for our little ones to get up in front of a community, okay? You guys did great. So everyone, thank you so much. Please come and check out this stuff. See all these beautiful items. Thank you to the town of Collingwood. And I just want to share the truth too. It takes about an hour to get ready to put this stuff on. So our family travels in 10, as you see. So every powwow, we're just right at that moment before grand entry. So miigwech, everyone. Have a fabulous time. We'll see you soon. Miigwech. Everyone, I wanted to share with everyone that's here, that's able. We're going to join hands. It's about 2.5 minutes. As big as this circle can be, we're gonna do a round dance song. And the way that you hear this round dance song, did Jen show you too? Here, hold this up. Speakers still on. So everyone, just to let you know, round dance songs are usually done in the colder months in the winter time. And we do this in communities all over the place. But remember, you're gonna be dancing with each other, and you wanna share your good energy to your right and to your left with your family and your community. And while we all do this, everyone, for our community, think about everyone in your family, your ancestors, and please watch the speakers when you're going. Just have a good dance, okay? And you're gonna watch everyone how they do that dance, and you can move your arm and get working out. But this is a social dance that we have, and also can be used for healing. So say I went to a community and my family needed some special healing or special words to the spirits. We would bring that tobacco to those drummers or singers, and the whole community would dance for us, and they would send their good messages out for our family and our community. So this is something that we could do sharing, okay, around that song. Miigwech, go ahead, Uncle. Chi Miigwech, everyone, for participating in that lovely, lovely round dance. I love that. Miigwech, everyone.
All right, we'd like to ask all of our council members and those in the procession to please head to the back room while those of you are finding your seat.
culture, a place where many wish they could live, work, and play. And whereas Collingwood has a robust number of volunteers giving of their time for the betterment of our town, volunteerism is the reason we are here today. Let it be known that for their service to our community, the town of Collingwood presents to Barbara and David Collinson, Mary Lou Dunn, Katie Pereira Preble, Sean Rennie, and Doug Smith, the Order of Collingwood, and that for their continued service, the town of Collingwood confers the title Companion to the Order of Collingwood to Deb Keith, Barbara Ann Snade, and Mark Redmond. Congratulations to our recipients.
Good afternoon. We'll start with the land acknowledgement. For more than 15,000 years, the First Nations walked upon and cared for the lands we now call home, and Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Ojibwe, and many others who were families, friends, and communities the way we are today. The town of Collingwood acknowledges the late Simcoe-Nottawasaga Treaty of 1818 and the relationship it establishes with the original inhabitants of Turtle Island. We acknowledge the reality of our shared history and the current contributions of Indigenous people within our community. We seek to continuing empowering expressions of pride amongst all of the diverse stakeholders in this area. We seek to do better and continue to recognize, learn, and grow in friendship and community, nation to nation. So, good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. It's such an honor to be here today hosting the first Mayor's Levee, my first Mayor's Levee for the year 2023. It has become a tradition in Collingwood to greet each new year with such a gathering, where members of our community can come together with not only the mayor, but all members of council to exchange greetings, well wishes, and ideas for the new year. And of course, it has also become a tradition where we gather to honor our extraordinary community of volunteers. 2023 is the first year of your new council. We look forward to all of the initiatives that are on the horizon for this year that will continue, and we will continue to embrace Collingwood as a wonderfully livable community. And we look forward to continuing our first line of, what I really want to have is a long line of community discussions. And please know my door is always open. I'm now going to invite Great Cloud, who you've already had a brief introduction to, of course, who is James Carpenter. And by way of brief introduction, I will just say that James has become quite a fixture here in our town, thankfully, over the last number of years. He's considered a knowledge keeper, a healer, and a ceremonial helper who sits as an elder with the Bear and Crane clan. He and his family have been graciously sharing Indigenous tradition and knowledge with our town for many years. As a highly regarded advisor, James has led teaching and ceremonies for sweat lodges and change of seasons and other significant events in the community, as well as guided the town in acquiring understanding of awareness of Indigenous needs. And as we work towards truth and reconciliation, we were today fortunate to have James and his family share the significance and meaning behind the traditional practice of dance, and all as a means of celebration and healing. So I'll invite Great Cloud, James Carpenter, to come up now. Thank you.
Miigwech. They also said I'm a master of disguise, hey? Thank you, everyone. Again, one of the things that I always like to share with everyone is just a quick welcoming teaching in the way that we know how. Um, all of our ancestors, no matter what parts of the world that we come from, they all relied on Mother Earth. They had a special relationship to the air, to the water, to the wind, to the fire, and most importantly, a relationship to spirit, which all of us are. And being a part of a little bit that the town has, a lot that the town has shared. My friends, I go to lots of communities all over Ontario, and the town has been very, very kind with wanting to learn and share. So earlier, I taught everyone a word that I'd love to hear you say it again, Ani Bojo, Ani Bojo. And what that really means is greetings, a gift. Are you one of the great spirits? It's asking you if you're one of the creators of many things. So I acknowledge that all of us here are little creators of many, many things. Creators of your family, creators of your community, creators of your home. And for this event, it's very special to me always because it honors the community citizens that are out there that are doing extraordinary work for other people. The good work that goes sometimes long hours long after the work that you normally do. So I wanted to share another word of what this event means to me. And that word is miigwech. And what miigwech really means, it means a gift from in here, a gift from within. And sometimes it translates to thank you, okay? But from all of our communities, of every helper that is here, all the helpers in this beautiful event today being honored, all of our communities that you may not get that chance to hear it from, we say thank you, miigwech, from our spirits, our hearts, for all that hard work you all do. And everyone, I wanted to also, before I leave and hang out with my big crew over there, I wanted to teach you again the real meaning behind a drum for Indigenous people. And for those of you that are last year, you'll remember this. For those ones that are new this year, this is really the teaching on the drum. And I want you just to hear it, okay? And you see that sounds like your heartbeat, okay? So that heartbeat is a song that plays inside all of us. So with that, I want to honor your heartbeat. I want to honor everyone's song and get us moving to that place of real kindness, of compassion, of gratitude. And I say, miigwech to everyone, a gift from my spirit to yours for your community and for all those volunteers that do that beautiful, beautiful hard work for everyone. Miigwech. Miigwech, everyone.
Okay, I met two people I wanted to mention out in the hall there. One was Keith Howell, our former mayor who was here today. Keith, where are you? Okay, Keith, hi. Thank you for coming and your hard work of last term. And also Terry Dowdle, who's our MP, pardon me, who has a few words of greeting from Ottawa. Terry, come on up.
Good afternoon. I was just sitting here for a second contemplating the event here today, and when I saw that drum and how it put everyone in a good mood, I was wondering if perhaps I could rent that and take that to the House of Commons. It might be a good idea. I'm honored to be here today, and Mayor Hamlin, thank you for giving me this opportunity to stand up here today and And members of council, congratulations. Deputy Mayor, members of council, it's a big commitment. I know you're up for the job. We're in trying times, but we have the right people at the table. So I want to congratulate you and your families as well for the commitment that you've decided to bring with public service, because it's not always easy and often political. But I want to thank you. I want to thank the recipients as well, Order of Collingwood and companions. Without you and what you do, our community wouldn't be as great as it is and as helpful as it is. And I know each one of you is not doing it for the recognition today and probably want it, quite frankly. You do it because it's from the heart and it's what you want to do. So congratulations. We live in the most beautiful community. I talk about it all the time in Ottawa. This is the most beautiful place you can be on Southern Georgian Bay. And it is the people and it is the event. So thank you, Collingwood, as well, for putting on this event every day, your staff. I know it's a lot of work. And I suggest the council, anyone you run into this afternoon, you tell them to have something to eat or something to drink, so that way they can't call you and say they get nothing for their tax dollars. So congratulations to everyone, and hopefully I get a chance to say hello to a lot of you. Thank you.
Okay, so you heard that, eat up before you go. Oh, so we're going to have a video here that's going to be a fun thing to watch. And really, as we reflect on the year past and the year ahead, there's a number of ongoing and upcoming projects that we're excited about. And though this isn't a fulsome list, this brief video illustrates 10 things to look forward to in 2023.
It's a new year, and what better way to ring in 2023 than with a look ahead to some exciting projects and initiatives on deck for the town of Collingwood. Here's a sneak peek at some of what's to come this year. Identified as a key priority by council, work towards affordable housing solutions will continue this year between the Affordable Housing Task Force, staff, community partners, and the County of Simcoe. An extension to the Awen Gathering Circle, the Awen Water Play area will be coming to Harborview Park in 2023. Just imagine splashing and cooling off here on a hot summer day. The official plan shapes how the town grows as a complete community for the next 30 years, providing policy guidance for land use, sustainability, infrastructure and transportation, housing, and climate change resilience. Following substantial comments and feedback in 2022, a second draft official plan will be released for public consultation this year. Work to expand the water treatment plant was extensive in 2022 and will continue throughout this year as the design team works towards completing the design and tendering the construction contract early this year. Expect to see the new UV equipment installed and operational in early 23, with significant construction work on site beginning later this year. As part of milestones 2 and 3 in the Partners for Climate Protection program, the Climate Change Action Plan will detail steps the town will take to reduce greenhouse gas emissions internally from buildings and corporate operations. Once finalized, plans will begin to develop the Community Climate Change Action Plan in 2023. Pending council approval of the MOU, Streetcar and Dream, along with the town, will work together to further develop the design of this iconic landmark, beginning with extensive public and stakeholder engagement. Stay tuned for opportunities to get involved, stay engaged, and share feedback this year. Collingwood continues to be the place to be for residents and visitors alike. 2 programs that enhance the experience for everyone will continue this year. The Discover Collingwood app featuring self-guided tours and information, and the Craft Beverage Tour, highlighting the many craft beverage producers locally. Work completed in late 2022 to make the town more accessible for all will be realized and enjoyed this year and for years to come. Between the mobility mat and floating wheelchair at Sunset Point, as well as the newly renovated Sunset Point Playground with its universal design features and accessible washrooms, to the introduction of Transit Plus, Collingwood will continue its efforts to make the town an inclusive, safe, and welcoming place for all. 2022 saw the unveiling of Dare to Dream in Tremont Square, and this year we'll see work underway toward the BIA's Downtown Passageway public art installation. An artist has been selected and more will be shared as the year unfolds. 2 temporary public art installations will also launch this year, one on a hoarding wall on Harbor Street and the other in the entryway of town recreation facilities. Culture and inclusivity will continue to be celebrated this year with Indigenous art installations featured in the designs of the water treatment plant and Awen water play, as well as a healing forest project guided by an Indigenous advisory group to be incorporated into Heritage Park. Together, we will recognize and celebrate culture and the arts through special events and national days, including Black History Month, International Women's Day, Changing of the Seasons, Live and Original, National Indigenous Peoples Day, Art Crawl, and more, each with a focus on celebrating our diversity. The town of Collingwood wants to hear from you about how to make this the best place to live, work, and play. Stay tuned to engage.collingwood.ca to share your thoughts and feedback on many of these and other projects and initiatives in 2023. Other ways to stay connected are through engaging with the town's social media channels, reading our town pages in the local newspaper, listening to regular radio appearances, contacting your elected officials, and by visiting customer service at Town Hall. Happy 2023.
Okay, so your council will not just be hanging around, eating desserts and drinking coffee all year. And we're really looking forward to all of you weighing in on all these projects because we have a lot to do together. So on to the award presentation. As you know, the town of Collingwood is dedicated to supporting and recognizing exemplary volunteerism within the community. And through an award program which is based on the principles of integrity, respect, and dignity, a nominee must volunteer in the town of Collingwood to the primary benefit of the Collingwood community, have received no remuneration or financial benefit from the volunteer participation of service. The Order of Collingwood, which is the first one I'll deal with today, is of course a very prestigious award. A person who has made significant contributions of a volunteer nature for the betterment of our community and who continues to contribute in a volunteer role is eligible for this award. Each of the councillors are going to make a presentation of the award today. And the first one, I'm going to invite Councillor Doherty to present, as I say, the first award to Barbara and David Collinson. So if you could all come up to the front, please.
Good afternoon. Is it ever heartwarming to see so many people gathered here today after a couple of years of zero or very small gatherings? So it's good to see you all. This is what happens when you don't have a pocket. So I am so pleased to be able to present this award to David and Barb Collinson today. I spoke with Barb on the phone, who told me that they were completely surprised when they received a letter from the mayor. And in fact, they wondered if they had done something wrong before they opened it. They're relative newcomers to Collingwood, having arrived here in 2013. Both are retired from public sector planning. And I would love to pick their brains on a number of other matters entirely unrelated to these awards today, I can tell you. Barb and David started volunteering shortly after landing in their new hometown. They wanted to give back, they wanted to get involved, they knew that they loved gardening, and they decided that they could apply that love to make a contribution to us all. They both literally get their hands dirty during countless hours of volunteering with the Collingwood Garden Club and the Horticultural Society, serving in roles as Barb as president for 5 years, and David as treasurer for 5 years, and David now president for 3 terms. They're often found around the Arboretum, which is their favorite place to be in Collingwood. They've also volunteered their time mentoring, educating, and engaging with members of the community with varying disabilities. David even built a customized, accessible wooden planter box that allows full access to all without any barriers. They've worked with students and science teachers at CCI, educating them on the importance of gardening and the positive impacts on biodiversity, where they have no doubt influenced our future gardeners. Barbara and David, Collingwood is enriched by your service. So thank you and congratulations on receiving this award.
Many years of doing that.
Nice try. Your days are over. Okay, have a seat down here. Do you want to just maybe?
Sure, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Doherty. We really appreciate your very kind remarks. Madam Mayor, members of council, honored guests, friends. I could stand up here and just say ditto, but there you go. I won't. Councillor Doherty indicated that we were quite surprised to receive this, and in fact, we were. We were absolutely gobsmacked, considering that we were recommended for this by the board of our own garden club. And the fact that they actually carried on these discussions without us knowing anything about it doesn't really bode well. So thank you, Denise Mulholland, our treasurer, who led the charge. We do really appreciate the confidence that you've placed in us. When we joined the Garden Club in 2014, we really did not know at that point in time how much it would enrich our lives. We joined partly because we loved gardening, but partly as a way of meeting people in the community. And boy, have we ever done that and done it in spades. And we have so many good friends on the Garden Club and throughout the community. But the contribution for volunteering is not just for David and myself. It started many years ago with members of the Collingwood Garden Club volunteering in the community, and those members in the mid-90s who actually looked at a disused landfill site on the shore of Nottawasaga Bay and said, gee, we have a vision. And that vision today forms the Collingwood Arboretum. And today our members volunteer in the Collingwood Arboretum at least once a week, and often, more often, and in all kinds of weather, including yesterday, which was a little bit cold, when we had 10 members out assisting us replacing a tarpaulin, which had gotten ripped. So we want to dedicate this award to past and present members of the Collingwood Garden Club. It's a little less than 70 days, I believe, to spring now, so we're already starting our spring planting. So to our members, to anybody from the community that would like to join us in the Collingwood Arboretum, we'll be right back, and you can always see us there. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you, and thank you for the hope of spring. Oh, okay, the second award. This would be presented by Councillor Perry, and he'll be making the award to Mary Lou Dunn.
Let me get my glasses on so I can see what I'm reading. Anyway, you've had a little brief history on the Order of Collingwood. Oh, sorry. On the Order of Collingwood, but I will add to it was established in 1983, and throughout the years, criteria for this honor has taken many forms. However, it has always focused on recognizing exemplary volunteerism within our community. Volunteers don't do what they do to be recognized. They volunteer because the causes they believe in are very important to them. They're passionate about them, and they want to ensure they are helping to make a difference in our community. Mary Lou Dunn's volunteer efforts are extensive. She has volunteered with the Georgian Good Food Box since 2013 and joined the board of directors in 2017. She organizes all the drivers who deliver food boxes to Collingwood families, and she maintains records for the Collingwood branch. When the program was suspended due to COVID for 6 months, she was instrumental in adopting the program to meet the criteria of the health department and safely deliver food boxes to hundreds of families in the Collingwood area. As a board member of the Collingwood and District Historical Society, Mary Lou helps with visual technology and research. She also works at All Saints Anglican Church, where she is the president of the Anglican Church Women. In this role, she coordinates friendship dinners for members of the community and parishioners. Mary Lou is also a member of the All Saints Cemetery Committee and is meticulous with record keeping for them. She has completed a digital map of the graveyard, handles genealogy requests, and documents funerals and deaths through the church. Mary Lou also has done research for church archives, which led her to write a 425-page book about the history of All Saints Church and some early history of the town of Collingwood, which she has donated a book to council. I'm looking very forward to reading that. When Mary Lou does have some spare time, she crochets prayer shawls, which are donated to local nursing homes. I would also like to acknowledge Mary Lou's family and their support of all her volunteer efforts. Today, our community honors you, and it is my privilege to present you with the Order of Collingwood. The town is a better place for your efforts, and thank you for your contributions, Mary Lou. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Congratulations.
Hi, can you take a photo? Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I have a bad arm. That's okay. Okay.
Give me a warning so I can fix my eye.
Thank you. That's lovely. Thank you so much.
Do you want to put your word up here?
Yep.
I think this is this. Oh, that's,
Oh, that's why.
okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to be here. I am honored with this wonderful recognition. I would first like to say I congratulate all of the recipients who are here today. I want to thank the people who supported my nomination. Thank you very much for doing that. I also want to thank the committee who selected me from council for this honor. I want to thank my husband and my family who support me in everything I do. I couldn't do 1/10 of what I do without them. With all the activities with which I'm involved, I have to say that volunteering in Collingwood is absolutely amazing. We are fortunate to have so many good people in this community. Thank you to each of them. On that note, I'm happy to say meeting many of these volunteers have become my friend. Thank you.
And now Councillor Potts will be presenting the next award to Katie Pereira-Prebel. Thank you.
Only bonjour, and I'd like to welcome everyone in attendance today. As well, I would like to congratulate all the recipients as today, as a volunteer myself in the community, I both understand and appreciate the commitment that goes into all the services you provide. Today, it is my honor to introduce Katie Pereira-Prebel. Katie is a longtime resident who turned a tragic experience into a legacy for others experiencing similar trauma. Following her son Lincoln's stillbirth in 2018, Katie established Links of Love, a charity that has raised funds for cuddle cots at the Collingwood and Aurelia hospitals. As Aurelia is typically where local mothers delivering premature babies are sent, a cuddle cot is a cooling bed that gives families experiencing stillbirth the gift of time, as it keeps the baby preserved longer so the families can grieve and say goodbye. In addition to cuddle cots, Links of Love has donated thousands to the obstetrics ward at the Collingwood General Marine Hospital. Other benefactors of Katie's fundraising and volunteer efforts include My Friend's House, the Georgian Triangle Humane Society, local GoFundMe campaigns, as well as raising $5,000 to a local mother who is going through cancer treatments to get to Germany. In 2019, Katie was awarded Volunteer of the Year from the town of Collingwood for her efforts and has now become a contact for local lost families, providing support and resources from firsthand experience. Katie, your compassion and resilient spirit are very much appreciated, and your impact on the community is outstanding. Thank you, and congratulations on receiving the Order of Collingwood.
Sorry.
You're the rose.
Hopefully that doesn't fall. Okay. First off, I want to say thank you for accepting me as a recipient of the Order of Collingwood. And thank you to those who nominated me. Originally, I planned on saying just that and sitting down. However, I realized that would be a disservice to myself and what I do. I'm going to try my best to get through it. My son Lincoln was stillborn September 15th, 2018 at 30 weeks with no medically known reason. He was 3 pounds of pure perfection, and it's hard to wrap your head around a loss like that. After the loss of my son, sorry, it jumped on me. After the loss of my son, I knew very quickly what needed to change and was determined to change it. Our first task was a cuddle cot for the Collingwood Hospital, something that we so desperately could have used. No one talks about how quickly the baby deteriorates without one, and how it's a race against the clock to get the photos and memories, and the one opportunity had to do so. We made an updated camera our next priority so that families would be able to take quality photos of their babies, as it's sadly sometimes all they get to take home with them. And 1,000,000 photos would still never be enough. We dropped off journals to the labor and delivery unit so that lost families could write down their feelings, something that really helped me, especially in the beginning. My heart is within the very walls of the labor and delivery unit, and I plan to always continue to fundraise for them in Link's honor. I have also become a point of contact for lost families. I give them resources and a friend who truly understands, something that I didn't find myself until I started to speak out. I started to have the uncomfortable conversations. I talk very openly about how loss changes you, any loss, early or late, it changes you. Going into the hospital pregnant and walking out empty-handed is a trauma that you can't put into words. I used to be an everything happens for a reason kind of person. Now I say some things happen for a reason, because no reason is ever good enough. And after it was said to me over and over, I realized that saying everything is not of any comfort for someone experiencing a loss. I have met some of the most amazing people along this journey. The way this community has rallied behind me, I can't even put into words. Strangers prior have become family now. To be awarded for something that I am so passionate about feels weird, as I truly think I used fundraising as a way to survive. There was so much negative and I had to find a positive. It's too easy to get into a dark place and stay there. I still battle with it. I am always painfully aware that I'm missing one of my children here. At the end of the day, I'm just a mom trying to make sure no one forgets her baby. Sorry. But I see his name on cuddle cots and donor walls and awards, and I realize that with the help of family, friends, and this wonderful community that I've done just that. And I cannot ever thank you enough for allowing me to continue to be able to do so. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Katie, for sharing those. Extraordinary. The next counselor to invite would be Counselor Ring, and he'll be presenting the award to Sean Rennie.
Good afternoon. I too would like to welcome everybody here today. Great crowd. It's very good to see that there's people in this town that appreciate the volunteerism that our gracious recipients do for us. And I would also like to extend a congratulations to every one of you. Collingwood is a better place because of the work you do. I have the pleasure today to introduce the Order of Collingwood, Sean Rennie. Sean is a well-known volunteer throughout the sports and school communities as an organizer, a leader, a coach, and a teacher at Mountain View Elementary School. Currently, Sean is president of the Optimist Club of Collingwood in Southern Georgian Bay, where he devotes countless hours and endless energy into the various events and projects of this club, including the Canada Day Bike Parade. In 2004, Sean was instrumental in the formation of the Georgian Bay Titans Rugby Club. He is currently in his 7th year as the club's president. Since its inception, he also dedicated several years coaching the Titans. Beyond their time on the pitch, the skills and discipline these athletes learned under Sean's leadership will no doubt serve them well. Sean liaisons between the Georgian Anglers Association and 4 area schools, Collingwood's Mountain View and Cameron Street schools, along with Clearview Meadows School in Stayner and Worsley School in Wasaga Beach. Sean is introducing the students to the importance of operating fish hatcheries, of which enhance fish stocking programs to aid the supplementing of our fish population. Collingwood is a better place to live, work, and play because of Sean's leadership and dedication to the volunteering of our youth. Sean, thank you and congratulations. I can assure you this is an honor you will always covet. It is my pleasure introducing the newest recipient of the Order of Collingwood, Sean Rennie.
Thank you very much.
I have a big smile on my face right now because I'm very honored to get this award, and I want to thank everyone here for the award. It came to a surprise to me too. You can ask my wife. I was very surprised when I got the note, the email from the mayor, and really happy about it too. But being here, it takes a lot, and I'd like to thank my wife and my two boys because they support me a lot, and I couldn't be here without them. Without their support. My dad's here too. Hi, Dad. He's in the wheelchair right there. Yeah, he's been a great mentor to me throughout the years, and I just want to thank him as well. Same with my stepmother, MJ, and Judy, my mother-in-law is here as well. Thank you, Judy. I've met a lot of great people while volunteering with the rugby club, with the Optimist Club. I've had the privilege of working with people like Ralph Snade, who've won this award and the companion award as well. He's the one that actually got me into the Optimist Club, and I'm really happy that he did that because I've met a lot of great people. I've learned a lot through the many years I've volunteered, and I just want to thank everyone here. I've got some really good friends that showed up today too. Thank you. I appreciate your help. They're at the very back there. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming today. And I just want to say congratulations to all the rest of the recipients as well. And have a great afternoon, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks again, Rob.
And lastly, on this part of the awards, I'll invite Councillor Baines to come forward for the award to Doug Smith.
Winston Churchill said, "You make a living by what you get, you make a life by what you give." And our next recipient, Doug Smith, certainly embodies this wonderful sentiment. Having grown up in Sackville, New Brunswick, Doug and his wife moved to Collingwood in 2004 when his contributions to a healthy, active community were first felt. You may recognize Doug, frankly, as the friendly face who greets patients currently at Collingwood General and Marine Hospital, where he volunteers weekly in the diagnostic imaging department since 2004. Doug has served on the board of directors at the Collingwood Curling Club for the maximum 7-year term, 4 as treasurer. His volunteer efforts at the Curling Club are evident at the bar in the refurnished flooring, repairing chairs, and more. And if I may, not to steal too much of Doug's thunder on this point, but the Collingwood Curling Club certainly deserves a shout out here because it is the lowest cost to operate of any curling club in Ontario. And that's because 60%, fully 60% of its 600 members, fully 50% of those 600 members volunteer their time at the curling club. So a big shout out. I think it's a wonderful example for all clubs in Collingwood. Doug has also lent his time and energy to Hospice Georgian Triangle, Blue Mountain and the Blue Mountain Probus clubs, and provided rides to those in need for medical appointments, and has even donated blood for over 140 times. Good for you. Doug, you're a great example of community citizenship, and we're all inspired by your contributions. Thank you. You should be holding in the middle.
I'd like to thank Councillor Baines for the introduction. There are a few errors, but I'll correct them in the written copy. And I'd like to thank the mayor and her committee for this honor, but it's really not in my comfort zone, as a lot of my friends here today will know. People don't volunteer for rewards. They do it to give back, but mostly because it's enjoyable. And I'd like to thank Nancy, my bride, who supports me in these activities. My volunteer activities have mainly been at the curling club and at the hospital, and I guess those are the ones that Councillor Baines mentioned. Our curling club, with a membership of over 600, is one of the most successful in Ontario because most people volunteer and do something within the club. The curling club has also joined tremendous support from the town of Collingwood, and we can't forget that. The hospital has a volunteer base of over 100 under the direction of Sadie Nixon. As Councillor Baines said, I'm in the diagnostic imaging department every Friday morning, so if you're there, say hi. And it's not rocket science. We get people to and from their area for a scan and try to give a friendly face and make things easy for not only them, but the technicians. Sadie tells me that more volunteers are always needed, so by all means, if you're interested, you can get a hold of her through the switchboard. If I may, I'd like to qualify my remarks about the partnership I mentioned between the curling club and the town. My comments are not about volunteering, but rather about giving back. The curling club is in a century-old building, and over the last 20 years, the town has invested over $1.5 million in that building. A new floor, elevator for accessibility, 2 expansion phases to increase the entrance, lounge, and locker rooms areas, all improvements that are good for the town and the club. But what isn't known up front is that as well the town financed this up front, the curling club has committed to pay back 60%, 50% of that money over time, and we do it yearly. And the other positive is working with Dean Culver and his group at Parks and Rec. It's been fantastic. Back to this event. I've been coming to these ceremonies for, I guess, since 2004, really to recognize people that I've come to know who've got this award, never thinking that I would get it. People like the late Paul Hurst, a great friend who did much for this town, and most of it behind the scenes. Paul had a single focus: make Collingwood a better place. His bride, Donna, who's also here somewhere, was always at his side. Volunteers. People like Bill Hankey, who 20 plus years ago got a group of guys together who reinvigorated the curling club. It was down to about 80 members, and with the help of Peter Dunbar and the Parks and Rec, he was the Parks and Rec guy at the time, they got the curling club going, and look at it now, close to 600. And people like Bruce West, who took the idea of a hospice from just a small idea to what we have now, Campbell House, and what it means for this community. And people like Don Paul and Duncan Cherry Hawkins, Bud Christensen, Larry Hogarth, Rob Graham, Martha Lawrence, and those being recognized today. Our class of 2022 joined some great company. My wife Nancy and I came to Collingwood in 2004. We had raised our family in Toronto, Ottawa, and Oakville, and spent the odd weekend here skiing. I get up early, and rather than wake everybody, I take off, have a cup of coffee, and drive around town, or did. And I used to say Collingwood just felt right. So after retirement, we moved to the area. It's now the longest we've lived anywhere. I grew up in small town Sackville, New Brunswick, which I didn't think Councillor Baines knew, and was encouraged to give back by my mom and grandmother, who seemed to manage the goodness of that town from their home. Summer celebrations, Halloween gatherings, UNICEF, Christmas cheer, the opportunity shop, the coffee cart at the hospital, and so on. Things just seemed to happen. People helping people. If somebody needed boots, what size? They needed a jacket, what color? If you needed a bicycle, leave it with me. People helping people, volunteers. There were 4 of us growing up, and my mom told us that we all had the volunteer gene and use it. And she used to say that if everyone does it a little, a lot gets done. Thank you very much.
Very inspiring. Thank you. Next, the awards are going to be for the companion of the Order of Collingwood. And this award recognizes those whose volunteerism has extended at least 5 years, and they have already received the Order of Collingwood. And this is the highest honor award that Collingwood gives. So I'm now going to ask Councillor Jeffrey to come forward with the presentation to Deborah Keep.
Mayor Hamlin and fellow council colleagues, distinguished award recipients, and guests supporting this afternoon. Ani Bonjour, good afternoon, and Happy New Year. The Levee is the town of Collingwood's equivalent of the annual Super Bowl, recognizing a winning team of the most dedicated, tenacious, compassionate, and generous members of our community. The individual award that I am most pleased to bestow today is the Companion of the Order of Collingwood. One can't help but notice in this very extraordinary category that each of these recipients, as is so prevalent with all of our volunteers, didn't take the first award of the Order of Collingwood as a trophy of success or a retirement opportunity. So no pressure to our current order recipients this year. But when I spoke to Deb about her award today for her outstanding volunteerism, she was humble in explaining that she was just raised that way. And be it Kingston, Calgary, or Collingwood, Deb's first outreach upon arrival to a community was finding a cause that she could participate in and make a difference where she lived. So Deb has brought her volunteer efforts to every community of which she has been a part. And fortunately for Collingwood, Deb purchased a house in 1994 and has been a part of our community ever since. And Deb's contributions span a broad range of experience in strategic planning, grant writing, and governance, to rolling up her sleeves to help with the unsexy stuff that volunteers do, including cleanup, event cleanup, envelope stuffing, and just whatever is needed. So while I worked with Deb on the Home Horizon Board of Directors, her resume is extensive in assisting many other charitable organizations such as My Friend's House, Theatre Collingwood, Georgian Triangle Humane Society, Elephant Thoughts, Big Brothers Big Sisters, and Rotary. Phew. So on behalf of our community, Deb, a big thank you, miigwech, and all please join me in a round of applause of congratulations on Deb's Companion of the Order of Collingwood Award.
Because you can't read your name. Sorry. Congratulations. Thank you.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate council for your recent win. I'd like to know that everybody agrees with me on who should be running the place. So that's great to have. It's such an honor for me to be recognized by the town council for doing what I love to do. Everybody's talked about how much fun it is to volunteer, and I certainly love it. I'd like to thank council and the committee for selecting me as one of the Companion to the Order of Collingwood recipients. We have 2 others today, amongst so many dedicated and worthy volunteers in our community. I congratulate all the people being honored today, both those that have already been honored and the 2 following me. I'm humbled to be placed
in the company of people I've volunteered with in the past, and some of them have been mentioned today, and certainly a lot of them were here today. Donna Hurst, Ron Emo was here, Sherry and Dunk Hawkins. I've also worked a lot with Don Myers, Barb Wider, and Sanda Mahar. I always told Barb that when I grew up, if I ever grew up, and I'm not sure I want to get there yet, but if I grow up, I wanted to be just like her. And I'm so happy that I'm one step closer to being just like Barb. I'd like to thank Jeremy Rhodes from Elephant Thoughts. He's the executive director. He was the one that nominated me for this award. It has been a privilege to be a board member on his award-winning, outstanding charity that started here in our area, devoted to the education of children, regardless of their economic or social barriers. They've won international and national awards. They're leaders in education for First Nations children, science education in Canada, while supporting education, schools, and communities internationally. This is a huge undertaking, and it is run and has been run by Collingwood people since its inception. For your endorsements, I'd also like to thank Gail, who is our board chair of Home Horizons, who supported Jeremy's nomination. Home Horizon is a Collingwood-based charity that helps at-risk youth transition to productive adulthood. Many may not see the homeless in our community, but Barbara Wider House and Home Horizon and our outreach program engage over 50 youth this year alone. The second person who endorsed the nomination was Sonia at Georgian Triangle Humane Society, and the great work that they do out there to make sure they find forever homes for our four-legged furry friends. All of these organizations and the organizations that we have in this community fill a huge gap in our society and deserve our attention. I have had the privilege over the 29 years that I've made Collingwood my home of benefiting from working with many of the amazing agencies, and Kathy, you certainly mentioned some of them, that provide hope, enjoyment, and relief to our community. All of these organizations have such great teams of staff and volunteers who get things done. There are many reasons to volunteer in this community, and although this audience, quite frankly, is probably preaching to the choir, know that more than ever, our efforts will be required to make a difference and ensure that Collingwood remains a place we can all afford to live, to work, and to play. Lastly, I'd like to thank my outstanding family, who's taking pictures over there, my friends who are here supporting, and my colleagues who have taken the time from their busy schedules to come to support today's recipients. It is a privilege to be selected to represent the strong spirit of volunteerism in this community, and I'm humbled by this honor.
Well, thank you. I'm next going to invite Councillor Houston to present to Mark Redmond.
I'm honored here to be presenting this award to Mark Redmond today. Mark received the Order of Collingwood in 2006, and since then he's continued to go above and beyond as a volunteer in our community, and makes him a well-deserved recipient of the Companion of the Order. Mark moved to this area in 1978 and worked as a teacher at CCI, where he left an incredible impression on many of the students there. Outside of the school walls, Mark's donated his time and energy to Habitat for Humanity as their volunteer coordinator and participated in 8 builds. He was a principal organizer of the Georgian Good Food Box in 2006 and currently serves on its board of directors. Continuing his passion for food security, Mark volunteered for several years with the Georgian Bay Food Alliance Committee with the goal of establishing a local food center. Mark was also instrumental in the Collingwood Jazz and Blues Summer Concert Series and currently serves as president of the board of directors for E3. In his spare time, Mark volunteers as a tutor for Syrian refugees attending high school in Collingwood. I had the pleasure of speaking to Mark recently, and what struck me the most about him is how incredibly modest he is about all the incredible work he's done. He was quick to make sure to say that he wasn't the only one recognized. He summed it up best to me when he explained that in his youth he played football, and in that game it's not about the player, it's about the team as a whole. You get things done through teamwork. He told me that teamwork has always been a part of his life. He's extended that personal value through to his volunteer work in helping others. Mark, that incredible value is one that we could all take note of and integrate into our own lives. And your ongoing service to those in the community is respected, appreciated, and celebrated. Thank you, and congratulations on receiving the Companion of the Order of Collingwood.
Thank you, Mary Hamlin. Let me see. Let other people do this. First off, I'd like to thank Brandon and you, Mayor Hamlin, and the selection committee. I must thank my wife, Patricia, without whose ongoing support, I could not have participated in the variety of community organizations that mean so much to both of us as members of a vibrant and caring population here in Collingwood. When we arrived here in 1978 to teach science at Collingwood Collegiate, I observed a commitment to serve their community among the dedicated staff that continually went out of their way to enhance the lives of others in the Collingwood community. Volunteers like Ralph Snade, Sandy Stoutenberg, and others were beacons among the staff, an enthusiastic and vibrant group who demonstrated that we had a responsibility to contribute time and energy in the larger community in which we worked. I am merely one face of many area residents who have made time to contribute their energy and skills to a variety of projects over the past 42 years. Whether I was a catalyst in a new community initiative, or a worker bee on committees, or in programs to enhance the lives of others, is not important. What is significant is that a group with an idea will find Collingwood fertile ground on which to build a stronger community with volunteers ready and willing to join in. It is the people of Collingwood who support so many clubs, committees, organizations, and volunteer programs that make our town a special place. Volunteerism thrives in an environment of community support. I have to take a moment to thank Terry Geddes and his council back in the early 2000s for establishing an affordable housing committee. That rings a bell again. It's been ongoing ever since. Mayor Geddes at that time brought together local businesses, church groups, and key community members to plant the seed that sprouted into our local Habitat for Humanity affiliate. The sight of volunteer Peter DeGroot nailing the ridge cap shingles on our first Habitat house as the sun set on a Saturday evening in August is etched into the minds of all of us who worked on our first build in 2003. Since then, hundreds of Habitat for Humanity South Georgian Bay volunteers have built 17 homes. Today, each of the families in those homes knows best how a group of dedicated leaders and volunteers can change people's lives. When Frank McNulty and I approached the town with the idea of a midweek summer jazz series for Collingwood in 2007, again, Peter Dunbar, the Director of Parks, Recreation and Culture, provided advice and critical support to get jazz at the station up and running on the space behind our museum. Again, Town Hall, Council, and your staff. You join together with us, and you do this with other volunteers to make good things happen in Collingwood. And thank you for that contribution. Without it, many things here wouldn't get started. I want to thank Collingwood Council for bestowing this recognition on your volunteers and your role in adapting policies to enable all of us to make the most of our efforts to continue to build a community where everyone can live, work, and play. Those of us being recognized today are a reflection of our community. So please applaud yourselves and your friends and neighbors for supporting the programs and projects that are driven by volunteers. Thank you.
And as you can see, there's one chair left. Who will this be? Okay. Well, I did have another page. Don't give up. So, of course, our Deputy Mayor, Fryer, is going to present the next award. This is to Barbara Ann Sneed. Thank you.
We'll do that after. So Barb, the mayor just leaned to me and she said, this segment's supposed to take 90 minutes, so we have to stretch this at about 30. Is that okay?
I'm sure they're waiting for another speech, long one.
Good afternoon, everyone, and Happy New Year. It's great to see, as has already been said a couple of times, it's great to see such a fantastic turnout today to help us kick off 2023 and recognize all of these amazing recipients. As well to Greg Crowd and his family. We are so appreciative of your efforts in sharing your knowledge with us. Miigwech. Over the years, my decades of working with Town of Collingwood, I've worked with hundreds, probably thousands of volunteers, but participating with the committee, and that's another group of volunteers, to make these selections gives me the opportunity. I look at familiar faces out there, and many of you are volunteers that I've worked with, but there's people I don't know that are volunteering and doing so many things, and it just is so enjoyable to find out about those people and their efforts. So it really is an honor to be here. And I have the honor today and privilege of bestowing onto Barbara Ann Sneed. Barb, as she is affectionately known amongst her friends and family, the Companion of the Order of Collingwood Recognition Award. Barb has continued to tirelessly personify the qualities of a caring and supportive volunteer in the town of Collingwood since first receiving the Order of Collingwood in 2010. All in all, we're talking decades of selfless commitment with many of the services of town requires to help ensure support is available to other individuals who have been less fortunate. As Executive Director of the Georgian Triangle Housing Resource Center, volunteering at Collingwood General and Marine Hospital, Girl Guides, Boy Scouts, just to name a few of the vital support services she has contributed towards. More recently, through her ongoing efforts at Trinity United Church, Barb has leveraged her professional background as a trained dietitian and education in food sciences to initiate and still oversee operations of the community dinner program. Barb has dedicated countless hours to providing nutritional meals to those experiencing food insecurity. Also, due to the COVID shutdown barriers, Barb extended the offer of nutritious food accessible 24/7 with the initiation of the outdoor food box program at Trinity. As Barb oversaw these services, she realized there was an opportunity to take things a step further and introduced the Crock-Pot program, providing a crock-pot, simple ingredients, and education on how to create healthy meals. The proverb, give a person a fish and they will eat for a day. Teach a person how to fish and you feed them for a lifetime. It rings true with the goals Barb hoped and successfully has achieved. Barb says she enjoys bringing smiles to the faces of so many, especially the less fortunate. That is what Barb strives to bring about, and in so doing, it brings smiles to all of our faces. So for that, Barb, the town of Collingwood thanks you and your family so very much for your dedication to help improve the quality of life in our community. Please join me in showing our appreciation and congratulations to Barb on receiving the Companion of the Order of Collingwood. That leaves you about 20 minutes.
20-minute speech? I'm sure you'd love me to have a 20-minute speech. Oh.
Let me put these down for a second.
That's my speech. It's not going to go 20 minutes. She could do a better job on the speech. You're good. Oh my. I'm not that tall. You've had lots of speeches, and I would say ditto to every one of them. So this is short and sweet. I would like to thank everyone who has contributed to help me do what you folks are recognizing me for today. Many hands and donations have been part of the process, and I do thank you all. In conclusion, I have a little sentence here. What you give comes back to you in many ways. Thank you.
Pretty great, eh? I mean, why is Collingwood so special? We're such a caring community, and it's been such a delight to hear from people volunteering in such different sectors, different segments of the community, so many of our organizations, and in fact, creating their own. So thank you, everyone. Now, at this point, I wanted to invite our poet laureate up. This is Jillian Morris, and she's created a special poem for today called Begin Anew.
Oh, thank you so much. Yamagoa means thank you very much in my language. I am Ganyageha, or also known as Mohawk. So I say Sego Sebogwego, which means hello, everyone. And I apologize, you're probably just learning Ani Bojo. So putting another one on there for you. But I'm very, this is a really humbling event to be asked to be a part of. And I feel very honored to be sharing this space with all of you wonderful volunteers. I too love to volunteer, so I'm just, I know how much it connects you to community and makes you have that sense of belonging. And so I'm just so grateful to be following the lead of so many good people. So I did write this just a few days ago in Jillian Morris fashion. This is the way I do it. So I wrote this, like 3 days ago. So it's called To Begin Anew. Do these waking eyes see but blue? The winter delays our brother's rise. Still sleep wanders, and the silence cries. Seek dream, the want of it implies desire to begin anew. Scars on display, payment of due, governess of torment won't free. Calm comes with day, yet not to me. White pine beckons, blood memory. desire to begin anew. Burnt fields of yester burnt fields of yester amply grew. Look to where the fires did caper, life to ash like water to vapor. Restore false story to clean paper. Desire to begin anew. Thirsty roots of elderwood knew the chronicles of returned earth, ceremony, dance, and song of worth, still held dear, await rebirth, desire to begin anew. Constellations on watch stay true, ancestors dance amidst earth's rest, glint upon waters tenderly blessed. Overcharred heart, the light shall crest, desire to begin anew. Thank you very much.
You wouldn't believe how many speeches I have up here with mine. It's sort of cool. Oh. So before I bring this to conclusion, I'll just say that the recipients, please stay up at the front because there's going to be a photo, and council will come up, please, also to have a photo with the recipients. There will be refreshments and desserts still available. And before we finish, we're going to hear from our band again. And so as part of that finish, we are going to do what we should have done at the beginning, which is, anyone know? Oh, Canada, thank you. It was the clerk who said you didn't follow your remarks. So thank you, Sarah, for that. So if everyone would like to stand, we'll finish with Oh, Canada. Thank you. Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, a true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Thank you, everyone. See you next year.